Okay, Galactic's numbers 250k. So 250k, never play again, Galactic. You're not allowed to play live. You're not allowed to play online. You're not allowed on this Twitter. Okay, let's say that's the rule. You're not allowed on poker Twitch either, right? It's a complete shutdown of any poker in your life. Pedro's is over 1 million. Okay. Would you say no when you were playing tens? No, I would say yeah. I would say yes. Then for sure. What was that? To 1 million? Yeah, yeah. If I was playing 15s. Okay, close. 4 blocks some of the natural bluffs as well, so like maybe like a 4-3 or a 4x of diamonds would be kind of natural bluffs. And the queen as well doesn't feel great. I think it's silly to plan for over 10 years in the future, that's why I think 250k is enough. Yeah, I would kind of agree. I think that's... I mean, I would agree in terms of it's silly to plan for 10 years plus in the future. So... honestly, I wouldn't really know what to do if I didn't have poker. Like, not in a sad way, more in a... I'd just be a bit bored. Like... I'd miss everybody. I'd miss you guys. You're worth more than 1 million. I mean, don't forget, we did get $80 in Twitch subs. Thank you very much, everybody, by the way. Which I spent on this lovely Diet Coke. Had to haggle a bit because they wouldn't accept. I was just like, oh, let me just sub for the Twitch Coca-Cola. Nah. But, you know, you multiply that by the next, what, 100 years? That's probably 1 million, isn't it? Maths. Could I still watch halftime shows tomorrow? Well, give me an answer where the answer is yes, and give me a number where the answer is no. I want to see exactly, Galactic. I want to know exactly what the halftime value is for you. Because I'm going to send this money to your bank, so you got to give me your answer. Some flushes, some 9x, but not really worse hand shoving here. And we are uncapped as well. Not going to get value from like a 5x of a club, or for example any of the floats with like king high, queen high with a club as well. Now, can't really get value from a 5 here, so I don't think it makes too much point betting. 10-8's also got there, which is definitely a potential value hand, so we're going to check. Expect a lot of maybe like king high clubs to check, maybe a 5x to check. Oops. Could still have a hand like jack 8 with an 8 of clubs and check that as well. Facing the jam, I think we have a pretty comfortable fold, to be honest, because every better hand is still in his opponent's range. So all the flushes are there, all of the 9x are there, 10-8 is there, 6-8 is there with a club, for example. Those all call flop, those all call turn. That's all we've got there. Does he value bet, let's say jack 10? I don't think so. Or even if he does, it's probably not going to be enough combos. So we're going to actually make a disciplined. Because if I can still watch halftime shows and 250k stays, if I can't watch halftime shows, 2.5 million. Ah. 2,250,000 is the value of those halftime shows. That's nice. I'll send my bank account over Skype. If I post here, too many people might send me too much money. That's true. That's true. You've got to be careful about that. I think that's a fair valuation, I would say, isn't it? You know, because where else are you going to see Wubsy rapping over Dre beats? 2 million? That's worth it, isn't it? The skill sets of poker, the understanding of EV, though, that's becoming more and more the foundations of football success as well, or any sporting success, really. They're all thinking in EV terms now. We're going to have the EV Premiership League table pretty soon. All right, I don't know. We felt like we've been a bit unfocused because I was rambling about football. So let's try and be a bit more focused poker here and make good, perfect decisions. Start with checking. Not looking to bet this flop. Typically, if you've got absolute pop in the range or out position, in limp pots especially, it's not the end of the world to just give up, ladies and gentlemen. We can go for some delays and stuff, but yeah. We have a car, which is sort of like slightly better, but it's whatever. If we had a 7 or something. Of course, there's been studying spins, but I live in Canada, Ontario. I can only play on Party Ontario. Stupid gaming. No players in spins or anything. Killed poker in Ontario. No players. Very sorry to hear that. That does really suck. And I know Jack himself has also been stuck a bit in Canada. Just like has $50 max, 50 Canadian dollars max games available. So yeah. It's always sad, I think, when you get segregations, because like if the professionals are there and they're making some money, they'll figure out a way. They'll move or they'll VPN or something. And if you're whatever, if you're a fun player, you're not going to bother doing that. You just play whatever. But certainly, it's killed a lot of action for sure. And so, yeah, sorry to hear that, of course. Ever thought about moving to a different country or a different location? Probably that'd be worth it, wouldn't it? If you told everybody you're moving for poker reasons, they'd all be supportive. I'm leaving my home, moving to wherever. No, it's probably not a shove. I said I was going to play focus poker, and then immediately I'm not really that focused. Don't know. I mean, we've got it. It's a shove symmetric. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Is it a shove with? I'm going to mark that one because I don't know is the answer. Oh, of course. Look, Sayonara says I play on 888 Ontario spins. They are soft. I was on the leaderboards. Is there constant games? I'm always waiting for players. Well, there we go, Sayonara. Happy days. We got some. Hey, course. Look at that. Agri says you can use a VPN and not get permabanned. I have no idea, by the way. It probably is a permaban thing. Maybe don't use it. I'm just saying. Probably people have done it, right? I'm not advocating that. Nor do I know anyone who's using it. Let's say all that, you know. My wife would love that. I quit my job and I move. I can only play for fun, but still start a couple. Yeah, you know, you're like, listen, we've been. You come down and you go, listen, honey. You know how you've always wanted to go travelling? Well, I've bought us a house. Where would be the least favourite place you'd like to go? You know what I mean? Agri says, Tom, why are you not Team Pro yet? You tell me. You tell me. They're missing out, aren't they? This hot piece of Twitch real estate is yet to be purchased. Interesting 2BB bet. Like, it seems kind of quite King Jack, King 10-ish. We'll call it again. Could be Jack 10 of clubs or something. 10 comes out. I mean, we check now. Check against King. I mean, aces also. Yeah, I guess that also makes sense. Can jam this as well. Can limp it. I think both are fine. It's a mix, I think, in most solutions. Depends a little bit how you organise the rest of your range. So, the stronger your limping range, the more you might like. If the stronger your perceived limping range is very important, by the way. The EV, how you actually structure range, is not as important as how you're perceived to structure range. So, if you are perceived to be strong in certain lines, that's when you can add more bluffs. And if you're perceived to be weak in certain lines, that's when you have fewer bluffs and more value. It's quite an easy way to think about it. But people often mistake the perception of their actual range. Like, you know, you hear all the time, I'm never bluffing here. How can this guy call? The guy doesn't know you're never bluffing. The guy perceives that you're bluffing sometimes. And normally when people say that, they are bluffing, and their perception of them bluffing was then clearly true. So, but EV is dictated not by actual range. It's the perception of the range is much more important. Now, perception of the range often, like if you're playing reg, it's like quite GTO-ish because it's whatever. But there's a couple of things you can look out for. Round the queens again, but we hit trip kings this time, so we'll take it. go for a small C bet here. 37. We'll barrel sometimes, we'll give up on some other. There we get it done. Happy days. Could have jammed this pre as well, but try limp. Again, trying to keep the pace relatively quick, just as a kind of experiment. Five big blinds, whenever limping range, just jam or fold. If any beginners are wondering, at about 6 big blinds is typically, or 5.5 is from a theory point of view when you kind of stop having limps and you just jam or fold. So, as a general rule, if you're below 6 big blinds, jam or fold is never going to be a problem. You still might want to limp aces, for example, if you're playing, especially if you're playing recreationals. You don't really need to limp balance that with trash or anything. But yeah, above 6, limp aces and strong hands, and then above, I would say, like, you could say maybe above like 8 or 9, you can limp ace king. In the kind of 7-8 territory, you can shovel. You can limp trap some suited stuff. Again, it's dependent. I'm trying to give some sort of generic advice here that's already failing because of the complexity of poker, but